Hi everyone, DJ Trex here from 2020 Entertainment DJ Services out of St. John's, Newfoundland. Today, this video is going to be consisting of hard drive options for you for storing your music, and we're going to look at 5 different systems that I use for different purposes. Actually 6. We're going to look at first off, we're going to look at portable hard drives, the real portable ones that operate on USB power as well as data transfer. We're also going to look at USB portable hard drives that require an AC outlet to get power from. We are also going to look at such things as thumb drives. And we're also going to look at another helpful piece of equipment to have, of course, to make things run a little more smooth, and that is a USB powered hub that, of course, you can put your portable hard drives on if you're using such equipment as the D2 Director. Our first hard drive that we are featuring is the Western Digital Passport. I have, of course, some putty that you can get, of course, to increase the stability of the drive when it's on a flat surface, so you don't accidentally send it skiing across the table. And it works pretty well. Of course, after so often you have to replace it with more putty. But this is the 250 gig version that I got at Costco back about 8 months ago, and works very well. However, the one downside of this is, in order to use it with my D2 Director, I have to use a USB power hub, which I will demonstrate later. Okay, I've just plugged in the Western Digital 250 to the system, and it has a really nifty blue light. And it's, I like lights. I like blue lights. And, of course, in no time, the system picks up the hard drive. I must say, for any kind of hard drive device, considering it is an actual moving disk inside, a standard 2.5-inch laptop drive, this Passport is very tough. It has a plastic outer shell, but don't let that fool you. My son has played with this for a day and a half or 2 days as a toy, kicked it around, chewed on it, and everything else, and it still worked. Of course, he didn't do this with my consent, but of course, when it came time to look for it, I kind of put 2 and 2 together, and once we cleaned out the slobber, we figured out pretty quickly what he had done with it, and yet it still worked. Big props to Western Digital for this particular drive. We are now looking at the Smart Disk Firelight hard drive, of course, that was available, and I believe they have bigger versions available at Costco. This particular model features a Samsung 80 gig laptop hard drive into it. Now, the nice thing with this one here, like all these other small compact hard drives, it features a USB in, and also a switch. The switch is set to USB powered. However, you can also set it up through this input to accept power from a PS2 keyboard output. So she can run on both USB, and in the event, of course, that the USB isn't strong enough to power her, she can also be run off the power from the keyboard output. This is an amazing hard drive. She is built like a tank. I've dropped this hard drive on concrete floors, not meaning to, however. I've accidentally kicked the hard drive. I have, done everything with this hard drive. I've sat on this hard drive. I've had it in my pants for days, sat on it, forgot all about it, and you know what? It has never failed me. This hard drive I can plug into my D2 Director from Newmark, and it will power it up, not a problem. The key with this hard drive is, on my main system, is to make sure that the cord isn't too long. You want to try to use a shorter keyboard when trying to power one of these drives. So shorter wires, preferably probably no more than a foot or so long. The power, of course, is more robust, more effective. Third, we have the MyBook from Western Digital. This one here is a 500 gig hard drive. Here is the light indicator which shines a white, and when data is being accessed, it kind of looks like the front light, scanning light of the old Knight Rider from the 80s. It looks pretty cool, and it's a pretty good hard drive. However, my one big complaint is that it's kind of light on the outside. It has a kind of a cheap feel to it in terms of the plastic. However, of course, when you stand it up like this, it allows for a great way or a good vent for heat to leave the hard drive. And of course, it is a great hard drive. On the back, you have USB, you have power. And I believe this one features eSATA. This does eSATA, which is something that you're finding on a lot of newer hard drives. Here is another hard drive that I have. It is the Seagate FreeAgent. A very sexy, a very nice drive. However, it is hooked up to the fiance's system, and I'm not going to dare try to get that out now. What can I say about this hard drive? This is the second one we've had. It accidentally fell off the desktop before. I'm only have it up there now because I wanted to show you the best way I could without unhooking the hard drive from her machine. But let's see how of a drop that was. It fell from there down to there, and it had to be replaced. Real heartbreaker. But we got this new one since, and we haven't had a problem with it since. Of course, we haven't dropped it since. And the thing that you all have to realize is when you are buying hard drives and you are using hard drives, that you're going to be taking them from place to place, and sometimes things can get a little rough, and you have to be careful, especially with hard drives. If you know just a fall from that point can actually ruin your drive. And of course, although Seagate was very good in replacing the hard drive, they, however, could not replace the last data on that disk. It should also be noted that the Seagate FreeAgent only features a USB output on the back.